Welcome back to the Zero Weakness podcast, where we talk about how to be a better lifter, how to be a better coach, and everything in between. Make sure you subscribe and enjoy.
Hello and welcome back to the Zero Weakness podcast. We are back with the fam.
Hello.
How are we all doing, guys?
Great.
We all good? We looking alive?
We living.
How's our training been?
Training's been good. I'm in week 1 of my new block, prepping for nationals. Squats are feeling the best they ever have. Bench is doing okay, and I got deadlifts Friday. So, yeah, we'll see how we go.
Awesome.
Mine's pretty shit. My back's hanging in there by a thread. It's hanging in there like this. But yeah, it is what it is. Still squatting, still benching, still deadlifting, so it's fine.
James is one of these lifters that gets miraculous healing powers and then injured the next session and then miraculously healed in the next session. It's very up and down, isn't it?
Adrenaline's a great painkiller.
I thought I broke my back on Monday, and then I was like, nah, it's better now. Did another set and it was fixed. Completely healed.
Magic.
An even better set, too.
The cure is lifting heavier.
That's it. You got to load up.
I'm much the same as James, hanging in there by a thread. About 3 weeks to not die, and I might be able to put up a total. I'm really now not confident that I'm going to PB anything, but I'm going to go give it my best shot, and that's all I can do at this point. So I've come this far. Even if I'm not going to go anywhere near close to what I'm capable of, I'm still going to get out there on the platform with all my lifters and do the very best that I can.
Awesome.
I believe you have a competition this weekend.
Yes. Well, by the time you guys see this, the comp will already happened, so you'll know if I shut the bed or not. But yes, I'm in, I guess, deload. I'm not training. This is comp week for me. I did my last session yesterday. I'm excited. I'm keen for. No, I'm not. I'm hella nervous for the comp.
You're going to do so good.
I'm not thinking about it at all, but I am excited for the day. I reckon it'll be an awesome day.
This is your time to shine. You can actually claim strongest Filipino for a couple of months.
I don't think so.
You can, 100%.
No, you've still got my total by like a lot.
Nah, it doesn't matter. It's current. Current.
But your current total is bigger than
I don't
mine.
have a total. I haven't had a total since 2019.
What was that total?
Not much. 6 for 9. 577? 577.
577.
Yeah, you'll beat that.
Yeah.
Easy.
You'll smoke that.
Yeah.
But in the gym, I went like 617. I don't know if that counts. That definitely doesn't
Well,
count.
there you go. There you go, 617. Now, to my favorite segment, everyone's favorite segment, your grievance, Thomas. What is it? What is it this week?
Well, this is meant to be like a gym grievance, right? But I forgot that the segment existed, and so I haven't put any thought into it. So my grievance is with the delays that we're experiencing with Zero Brisbane. By the time you listen to this, we should be open. But I have to say should be, just in case. And that's been the theme of the last month, is just in case. Because it's just been delay after delay with the building there. But the silver lining, we're almost there. We're almost over the final hurdle. So, by the time you're listening to this, hopefully we have a beautiful purple functioning gym.
I'm so keen for it.
It's going to be sick.
Another one to the roster. On that note, Ryan Anderson reckons he's going to be the first to collect all the gym badges. He's trained at Zero Mackay. He's trained at Southside, trained at Ground Zero, and he reckons he'll be the first to train at Brisbane.
No. Second, or let's clarify, first member.
Have you did you train at Mackay?
Yes.
He reckons you didn't.
He's wrong.
How does he reckon you did? How does that work? I don't think you did, Thomas.
Oh, no. Actually, come to think of it,
You're right.
Ryan knows more about my memory than I do. So, no, I definitely have. I've trained at Zero Mackay 2 or 3 times. So, plus he's got COVID, so he's going to have to get miraculously cured in the next week to beat me training there.
Damn, the spicy cough got another one.
That's right.
Dang.
That's right. But I reckon he will be the first gym member to collect all the badges. There are some gym members that I don't even know their names. People from Mackay that have come down on holiday and trained here and at Southside. So he'll be in contention with them if they decide to do another spur-of-the-moment holiday next week.
On that note, actually, I'm just going to put you on the spot here. Can we get him a pink T-shirt if he collects all the badges? That's what he wants.
Doesn't he have one?
A pink one?
Oh, he's got green with the pink right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah, we can get him a pink t-shirt.
That's mad. There you go, Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, like Ryan is has been pivotal in helping us build these gyms. We use their transport company to take all our stuff around the place, and we've used their warehouse for storage while we're waiting for this gym to open. So yeah, Ryan can have whatever the fuck color shirt he wants.
That's mad. Let's go.
I love how much we shout out that guy.
He loves it too.
It's so good.
He's the best.
He is. He's awesome. Love training with him. All right. Well, let's get into it. Before we get into it, this podcast is sponsored by Establishment Coffee Co. Go to establishmentcoffee.com.au, use the code 025 and get 25% off your order and free shipping. So today we are talking about creating habits to becoming a successful lifter. I don't think I have many of those habits, so I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about this.
Well, do either of you guys want to go first before I start rambling things off?
No, you go for it. I don't have many of these habits either. I just think it's important to love what you do, and I love training, so
Yeah.
Perfect.
yeah.
Well, what I think we should do is discuss the secondary part of that question first, which is how do you define success? And I think this extends beyond just the training world as well. Like people's idea of success in business is different as well. Like some people deem like flashy stuff, like showing off riches as successful. Like if you see someone with a nice house or a nice car, you think they must be successful. And I've always found that really quite strange, because success at what? Like success at having an income that's good enough to take more money from the bank that's not yours. Like, how is that actually successful, and who actually cares about that success? And I think it's important here to remember that success in any context is truly self-defined, and how other people perceive your success is kind of irrelevant. All that matters is how you perceive your own success. I kind of get annoyed when people say that I'm successful, because it's like, what is your measure of success? All you're seeing is what I do or what I have done. Whereas my measure of success is probably very different. My measure of success doesn't really include the financial side of things. I have other markers of success that I'm working towards constantly. And I think that's the important place to start, because as a lifter, you guys were mentioning this before off air, success isn't necessarily winning the biggest and best competitions, right? Success can come in many forms. What do you guys think about that?
Absolutely.
There's I was just off air. We were talking about what success meant to one of my lifters who recently competed. I won't say who he is, but for him, success was he won already when he managed to step out on that platform and lift in front of people. That was the biggest hurdle for him. That's all he was stressing about. And once he got that first lift out, he couldn't give two fucks what happened the rest of the day, or to an extent. Mm-hmm. He was just so happy and so ecstatic that he walked out there in front of everyone and lifted. Considering his previous comp, he hurt himself on his first lift and he was totally embarrassed. He felt like he was out of his element being in a competition as well. So for him, he won that day, and that was fucking awesome. And like, to him, that was success.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's a personal success, and that's what matters. I think it's where a lot of people go wrong in powerlifting in general, because they get into it thinking that success is easy, especially if they've experienced easy success elsewhere. Like, think of the dialogue around, like, I'm only going to compete if I'm going to win. I'm a competitive person, so I'll only compete if I'm going to win. If you say you're a competitive person, you should be actively seeking out opportunities for yourself to get close to losing. That's what competition is. Like, if I say the only way I'm gonna, be competitive, or I'm a competitive person, so I have to win, and like I'm like, well, if I have to lift against any of you, I pick Bridget because I'm gonna smoke her by the biggest gap. That's not competition. That's just flexing. Like, true competition is seeking out people who have the ability to beat you. And so if you can do that, then that's what being truly competitive is. And a lot of this competition idea is just like a construct in our mindset, So I don't even know how I ended up here. We're talking about success. So how you measure success is really important to consider here. I guess when you're looking for what success means, you need to grade success as well, or have scale to it. Like, let's just change that word success and look at it more in terms of like milestones, reaching a milestone, making it to the competition, getting competition experience, and then another milestone, placing in your weight class, and then another milestone, winning your weight class, and then another milestone, placing overall, and then another milestone, winning overall, and then breaking a record, or whatever it may be. You have to have multiple ideas of success, because if your idea of success is just the top, you may not ever get there because you don't focus on the process that's going to take you there. And you need to have these milestones, these successes along the way to give you that push and that drive to continue to move forward. Otherwise, any hurdle, anything that slows you down is going to be bigger than Ben Hur. You're just going to want to stop. So step one in creating successful habits is knowing what success means to you. Because if the thing that you're aiming for is too lofty, it's going to be unrealistic for you to create those habits early. If the milestone that you set is within your reach, if it's reasonable, then sticking to the habits that you need to create is going to be more achievable. Because changing habits isn't easy, right?
Not at all.
Yeah, like if it was easy, any client that you guys ever get and you're just like, oh, you need to eat better and sleep better. Oh, okay, I'll do that. But if it's not a current priority, bringing it to the forefront of your mind as a priority, it takes work, and it takes constant exposure to like relay these neural pathways to make it a habit. Like, a habit isn't just something that you speak into existence. A habit is something that you have to do over and over and over and over until it becomes automatic. Like, you had to be told as a kid, brush your teeth, brush your teeth, brush your teeth, brush your teeth. And now you just brush your teeth. Unless you're Daniel Carpenter, then you very rarely brush your teeth. We'll talk about that another time. Ask Daniel about his dental approach. He has very strong views on this. But you know what I'm saying, right? These habits don't come because you're like, oh, this is important, I better do it. Because if it was important to you, you'd already be doing it. And truth be told, like, if you ask an inexperienced lifter, what do you think it takes to be good at this outside of just training? They already know. Everyone already knows you need to eat well. Everyone already knows you need to sleep better. Everyone knows this stuff. It's about how do we actually get someone to believe this is a priority and then take steps to actioning these things so that they create habits out of them.
It's crazy that you mentioned this. So I'm just going to talk about myself here for a little bit. So back in 2019, I had really high expectations of myself at GPC Showdown or whatever. Really high expectations of myself. I didn't actually deserve to have those high expectations because I didn't create any habits to reap the benefits of that success that I wanted. So I had all these goals to total over, 620 or something. I ended up totaling 577 or 567. I went 6 for 9. Had to do a huge water cut by like 9 kilos. But I didn't actually take any steps besides the 2 hours I was in the gym where I trained hard. Outside of that, I did nothing. I didn't care about my nutrition. I didn't care about my sleep. I partied every single weekend leading up to the comp. I like proper partied every weekend, get home Sunday, 10 a.m. I wouldn't eat all Sunday, wouldn't eat half of Monday. I'd have a Maximus at midday kind of thing. And then I expected to perform really well. So just on that, yeah, it's like, well, I know we always talk about managing expectations, and I had these huge expectations for myself. To a lot of people, 620, that might not sound like a big total, but that's what I defined as success back then for myself. And yeah, like I said, I didn't do any of the 1%ers to be able to have those high expectations for myself.
I mean, they're not even 1%ers. They're the big rocks.
Yeah.
And you learned the hard way that you can't just train and expect the magic to happen. Like, there's so much more that goes into it. And again, inherently we know this stuff. It's about whether or not it sits in our brain as a priority. It's one thing that as a coach, I think I've got a good handle on because of my previous career. We learn about this thing. You learn a lot about behavioral change theories, but there's this thing called stages of change theory, which basically layers out where people are on this spectrum towards being ready to do something. And so, like, you think about a government message that's like, hey, stop smoking because smoking causes lung cancer and don't you want to be able to play with your kids? You know, you don't want to get sick and die. Tell that to a smoker. Be like, hey, you know that smoking causes lung cancer? They'll be like, yeah. They're like, do you want lung cancer? They'll be like, nah, probably not. Be like, okay, you're going to stop smoking? Like, nah, I'm okay. Thanks. Like, they already know the risk of doing this thing. But if you talk to them where you're on a level of change, because you see the importance of health, you have the foresight to know what this is going to look like if they get sick or whatever, they're not on that level. So if you talk to them on that level, it just falls upon deaf ears. It's like, how do we get people to the point where they're making this thing a priority? And the only way that you can do that is by getting this person to go introspective. So if you want to, if you're a coach listening to this, or if you're a lifter trying to work out why you find it so hard to make change, you have to ask yourself questions about, like, what are my priorities? How do I shift my priorities in order to bring something up a notch to the point where it is the forefront of my mind and I can make change around this thing? And then once you've worked that out, okay, well, I need to commit this amount of time on a Sunday to prepare my meals for the next 4 or 5 days. Once you work that out, it doesn't just happen. Then you have to put in the fucking work to make it happen. And that's the word to describe all of this. It's work. Like, trying to make yourself go to sleep earlier than usual, that takes work. Trying to cook your meals and eat healthy and do all the other stuff that you have to do, walk around the block, improve your cardiovascular fitness, train harder, whatever. It's all work. And work is not something that comes easily. You have to work for it. If we can look at our training and everything that happens outside of our training as work, and embrace the fact that work is not easy. Work sometimes suck. We don't want to do work. And then look at the reward that we're chasing and make that our driving force, then we can get past those mental hurdles of, I don't want to do this. But no one can tell you that. You have to go introspective and figure it out yourself. Like, there's days that you guys probably don't want to work, but you're like, well, I have to work because I got bills to pay. I got to feed myself. I got to pay my rent. You know, there's days I don't want to work, but I got bills to pay. I got people to pay. I got to pay myself, feed my rent, feed my dog. We sometimes don't want to do this stuff, but the reward, the payday, the thing that we're chasing takes the priority, and we're like, well, we have to do this. That's what, creating habits is about, is embracing the fact that it's not just like, I believe I can squat 300 kilos, and if I just get up every morning and visualize about it for 30 minutes, it will come into my life. No, visualize yourself squatting 30 minutes and then think, how the fuck am I actually going to get here? What are the steps I need to take? And then go and do the work. That's what's going to get you there.
It's crazy because the last 10 weeks of training, besides the spicy back that I've got, it's been the best training's ever been, the strongest I've ever gotten. And it's the first time in my whole life I've actually done all the big things, manage my sleep, manage my nutrition. I did everything to a T. I worked with Rochelle. I followed my program by Gidge, loosely. So it's like you said, you got to actually earn the right to, give yourself those big goals, and you got to do the work to get there.
Mm. Yeah, well, a friend of mine, I'm happy to call him a friend, I chat to him quite a bit, Bryce Krawcheck made a really cool video on this, a really just short snippet about like earning the right to have high expectations of yourself. So head to Calgary Barbell, their Instagram page, and watch that snippet. It's really cool. The thing that's kind of annoyed me about this sport sometimes, not about this sport directly, but because powerlifting is so easily accessible, and because it's so niche and small, there are a lot of newcomers that rise to the top very quickly. And you get a lot of people who then devalue the amount of work that needs to go into this. Like a lot of people look at record lists and think, I can do that. And then come in with this like high and mighty attitude of like, I'm training to break these records. It's like, well, no, you have no respect for the sport because you've never done it. You have to earn your stripes here. And any true powerlifter, anyone who's competed fucking once knows that lifting on the platform is not the same as lifting in the gym. There's so many people that have come, seen me coach big benches and be like, I have a big bench, I'm going to chase this record. And their bench is horrendous. And once you teach them how to bench and put them in a scenario where they would have to do it like they're in a powerlifting competition, all of a sudden their bench is 40 kilos weaker. Like legit. They're getting bro spots in the gym or bouncing it off their chest like crazy. Add a pause, add some control, keep your bum on the bench. All of a sudden, now you're not as strong as you thought you were. And then it's like, oh, okay, well, this is too hard for me. It's like, what? You were actually expecting to walk into a sport and be the top level straight away with no work? Imagine that. Imagine we all just walk down and we walk down to whatever, I don't know, the tennis club. And we're like, hey, we want to compete at the Australian Open next year. I feel like, what? Why? How? What are you talking about? It makes no sense, but people think it makes sense in our sport, and it's kind of frustrating sometimes.
It's so frustrating. Like you said, because it's so easily accessible. You can walk into a gym, you can do squat, bench, deadlift, and you can say, yeah, I'm good at these. I'm going to go to break these records or whatever. But yeah, like you said, it's just the lack of respect for the sport. And you touched on the tennis thing. You don't fucking watch the NRL and go, fuck yeah, I'm faster than that guy. I deserve to be in the NRL. Let me go fucking play for the Storm tomorrow. It's not how it works. I don't know why. It's kind of like that with all barbell sports, though. CrossFit's the same. So there's some real athletic freaks out there that they're strong, they're fast. I could be good at CrossFit. They've never actually done CrossFit. Until they're put in those scenarios, they fucking suck. Same with Olympic weightlifting. You see lots of footy players that can, clean 140, 160 kilos. Same thing. They get put in a weightlifting scenario. It's completely different. You don't have all the bros around you screaming. You can't just reverse curl it and, yeah.
Yeah. I used to see it quite a lot because I mainly just talk to powerlifters these days. I don't get inquiries from non-powerlifters very often, but back in the day, I used to get people quite a lot come across from when bodybuilding started exploding, or bodybuilding is not the right word, but, the stage pageantry deals, like all the sub divisions and all of those things that popped up. And then the federation split into 2 and then 3, and all of a sudden there was 10 federations with 1,000 divisions. Everyone would walk in and win nationals. And so you'd get I don't know what the board short division is, the board short division or the bikini division or something. Someone walk in who's a national champion of their sport being like, I'm going to be a national champion of this sport. And yeah, watching them come in, try some things, work out very quickly that they're pretty good at lifting weights, but they're nowhere near the top because the people at the top have dedicated their time, their energy, and their effort into getting to the top. And then being like, no, I'm too competitive. This isn't for me. It's like, that means you're inherently not competitive because what you're doing is walking around and looking for easy wins. That's not competitive to me at all.
No, there's been times as well where people have stepped foot in here because, they've talked about being the strongest at the commercial gym. And that's something they're really proud of. They walk in here, they're not the strongest. Or they've kind of convinced themselves they want to do powerlifting. They walk in here, they're not the strongest here, and they leave straight away. I don't know. I've seen it a few times now where people have mentioned, I'm the strongest in my commercial gym. But yeah, it's just, I don't know where I'm going with this.
No, the irony with that is that the best way to excel at something is to recognize that you're not as good as you can be. And the best way to recognize that you're not as good as you think you are is to see other people who are better than you. Like being around people who are better than you at the thing is the best performance enhancer there is.
That's exactly what I thought the day that I walked in here. I was so intimidated, but I'm like, this is the best thing for me.
Yeah.
To be around these people.
Yeah. Even if you're not in competition with those people, you're literally just around them. It's better than being in an environment where you're by yourself doing your own thing. And yeah, I mean, some people thrive on that, like me versus me, and powerlifting very much is me versus me. But if it's me versus me, I want to chase me better. And if I see other people that are better than me, it makes me want to be a better version of me. That's why people get so strong in environments like this, irrespective of how talented they are, how good the programming is, how good the equipment is. If you're around people that are doing the same thing and pushing you, you'll get stronger.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. I'm the strongest I've ever been, and it's only because I'm surrounded by people that are all stronger than me. And I don't know, I feel like if you're the best person in the room, you're plateauing, So, yeah, for me, it's such a great environment because it also, I don't know how you say this, as much as I may not be the strongest in the room, it also isn't everyone's identity. So it's such a healthy environment to be in where you're being pushed to be better, but you're not condemned for not being the best.
It's like when you told me, CJ, you wanted to squat 220 and I laughed at you. And I was like, you're way stronger than that. Do you know what I mean? It's like, fuck, these guys all want me to be better. And you've already squatted more than that.
Right. We'll take the snapshot of the humility until next week when he's like, you know what? I actually am the strongest in this room. There's literally not one Filipino in this room that is stronger than me. It's all we're going to hear about for months until James competes.
Yeah.
If he makes it to the platform.
Yeah. If I go more than 6 from 9, that's all I want to do.
Healthy habits, baby.
But success is different for everyone, Thomas.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So I don't need to beat CJ to be successful.
What's success to you then?
I need you to beat CJ to be successful.
For everyone. For us.
So we asked a bunch of questions on the Zero Instagram page. A few of you have fired some good ones. A few of you have fired some trash ones as usual. Thank you for thanks for wasting our time.
I don't know if it's been added to it yet, but can I just ask my mum and dad's question?
Go for
they
it.
really want to know how you came up with the name Zero Weakness.
Yeah,
They've asked me several times.
So I, for those who don't know, the gym formerly was PTC Gold Coast. And I was getting to the point where my online coaching had gone, it had been international for a while, but only really New Zealand. And then it started going bigger. So I had clients in Dubai and Israel and America and the UK, and a few other countries. And it always felt weird to have people tagging a physical location on the Gold Coast, like PTC Gold Coast, or even just that brand name. And I also wanted to get away from people just saying that I was the coach, because I could feel in the back of my mind that I wanted to expand beyond, the identity of PTC and Gold Coast and Thomas just being one thing. So I was like, okay, well, I need to create a brand for my online coaching so people can represent something bigger than me. And so that's where I started thinking I needed to create a brand. And the whole idea of Zero Weakness is it's a little bit nerdy, but it comes from physics. In physics, there's a lot of words that we have to describe physical principles that don't exist. So, for example, darkness. There's no such thing as darkness. There's only the absence of light. The same can be, there's no such thing as being slow. There's only the absence of, velocity or acceleration or whatever you want to call it. And so that's what I thought. I always hated the word weak. I always preferred people to say, if people come in and say, I'm so weak, I'd be like, no, you're just not as strong as you could be right now. Or you're not at the strength that you wanted to be. I wanted to remove the language of weakness, think about the language of strength. And so that's what it represents to me, that there's no such thing as weakness. There's only the absence of strength. So zero weakness.
That's really cool.
I love
that story.
And plus, I really wanted something that was like a play on words. So when you read the brand, a lot of people still say, hey, you're Thomas from ZeroW. It's not ZeroW, it's just zero, even with the W on the end.
There we go.
There you go.
Just to clarify.
Get it right.
Get it right.
I can't wait to have a sick day. And then Thomas goes, hey, where were you? You weren't at work. I was like, no, I was absent from work. Is that going to work? No.
I'll be like, bro, are you sick? He'd be like, no, I'm not sick. I'm like, why aren't you at work? I've just got absence of health.
I'm lacking health right now. What's everyone's hobbies outside of the gym? You start, James.
Powerlifting. Training.
Outside of the gym, I love, what do I love? I love music, like listening to music. I love basketball, rugby league, rugby, pop culture. I'm a sucker for I guess you could say street fashion.
Yeah.
They're my things. I love basketball. I love basketball probably the most out of anything though.
Bridge?
I love movies and TV. I love sci-fi. I'm absolutely obsessed with sci-fi movies.
We need to do an alien-themed Zero shirt for
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Need to work with
I've already
Nick.
got an idea of what I want for it too.
Send it to Nick. He'll do it.
Yeah,
He's a man.
I will. I love reading. I love Stephen King. I love any horror. Pop culture as well. What else do I like? I love going to the beach, hanging out with my family when they're here. Yeah, that's about it.
Tom, bro?
Well, I hate reading and I hate the beach, so I can't be friends with Bridget. I do love hanging out with her family, though. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I really love cooking. Cooking is a very strong passion of mine. Fun fact, I have auditioned for MasterChef before. I didn't get very far. But I also auditioned for Who Wants to Be a Millionaire Hot Seat, and I got all the way to the final stages. There's like 4 stages, and I got all the way to the point where it's like, we'll call you, and if you don't hear from us within a year, you never made it on the show. And I never heard from them again.
And it's been 5 years and I'm still.
That's a big timeline. If you hear from us within the next 12 months.
Yeah, well, so you're not allowed to reapply for 12 months.
Oh, yeah.
So they're like, because obviously they get hundreds and hundreds of applications.
What's the audition process like?
I'm trying to remember. You had to pass a test online, and then you go to this massive group test. And so they do a test, and if you score more than X percentage, you go into the next phase, which is another test. And if you score more than X percentage, you go through to an interview, which is like a video interview, and that's the last stage.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was a kid. I was like 20 or something.
Yeah.
And I definitely botched the interview because I was just a weird ass kid. So,
Can confirm though, you are a good cook. You do a mad barbecue.
Yes, absolutely.
otherwise, playing music. I like playing piano. Besides that, I don't do much else.
Not much the same. I love music. I play a few instruments and I enjoy playing. Yeah, all sorts of music.
Put more montages up. I love that stuff.
Yeah. Those are
Your Chili
great.
Peppers ones.
That was sick.
So good.
Should me and Tombo do a collab?
Yes.
Collab for sure.
Yes, we will.
Not that I post it though. I don't post that.
Symphony X and Coldplay.
Okay, can I post it or not?
Yeah, just cut me out
No, we're not.
Superimpose my head over Thomas's.
and put my voice as
Oh my gosh. Big fan of movies. Music, love music. Love combat sports. Big fan of the UFC. Big fan of boxing. Did boxing as a kid.
You like Formula One as well, don't
Yes,
you?
huge fan of Formula One.
Me too. Who's your favourite driver?
Senna.
No.
Michael Schumacher.
Yes, as a kid, he was like the hero.
Literally the only two.
Yeah. Currently, Sebastian Vettel.
Yeah,
is
really? Nice.
Love
My
the way
favourite, he's just retired. Kimi Räikkönen.
it's.
I was so
Ooh,
sad.
Kimmy, he's the one that he drives the car. Yeah, he's mad.
You should. There's a doc. So the Senna guy that I mentioned, there's a documentary on him. It's fascinating.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
incredible.
Like he was like a super gifted driver, and he died in a crash. But his driving got worse as the cars got better. So as the technology improved, he was such a good driver because he knew the cars inside out. And when they started putting all these like computers as part of the cars performed differently. So they could perform better, but he had developed the skill set over his entire career of controlling cars, and he was so resistant to the changes. But that's where the direction of the sport was going. And I might botch this, but I'm pretty sure because of that, something with the brakes or something to do with the car screwed him up, and he crashed and died.
Yes. Yeah. And the guy that designed that car is a genius. And he is the head guy for Red Bull right now, which is one of the top teams. And he writes the book, like his own book, where he talks about like building the car that killed Senna. And it's
Far out.
anyway.
That's
We're
crazy.
getting really this is a powerlifting podcast. We're talking about
Formula
motorsport.
One.
No, we're talking about whatever.
But yes, also a big fan of basketball. Loved Kobe growing up.
I love how before James is like, you got the shoes ready to fight, and then you're like, nah, I'd never fight. And then the first thing, I love combat sports. I'm a fan. Love anything to do with fighting. I just want to fight.
No, I don't want to fight. What's the craziest thing you've done in terms of fitness / gym? I guess with me on that, I have had a boxing fight. That's probably the most out there thing.
Oh, please tell me there is footage of this somewhere.
James?
I've done heaps of shit, but I've had a boxing fight as well. You've seen mine.
No, I haven't.
The guy I fought was Sam Haggett. He's the K1, King of the Ring 8-man champ for Muay Thai in New Zealand. And he was the Oceania Taekwondo champ as well.
Why did you fight him?
I don't know.
Did you die?
Nah, it was, I'll find the footage. We can put it up somewhere. I got pumped. It was terrible. I'm not much of a fighter. But yeah, that's probably the craziest thing I've ever done.
Bridget?
honestly, the craziest thing I ever did was a year ago I came in here and did a novice powerlifting competition, and now here we are.
The craziest thing you did is move that microphone back in front of you.
No, it's Buddy. I was sitting up.
Blame the dog.
I was
Buddy.
sitting up here, and now I've like sunk down because I don't want to disturb him.
Yeah,
So
it's all
little,
Buddy's
he
fault.
takes up so much space.
I don't know if this is crazy as much as just stupid, but I broke the Guinness World Record for the total amount of weight squatted in 24 hours.
Really? Why do we not know this?
How
Yeah.
have you got to like the Guinness?
No, so here's the story, right? I was the editor of a teen magazine, like a mental health kind of magazine directed at teenagers. I was like, I don't know how. I was 20. I was 20. It was just before my 21st birthday. And we were releasing this magazine, I think World Teenage Day or something. There was this big expo thing in King George Square in Brisbane. And I broke this Guinness World Record. Basically, the record was set at 50,000 kilos. I saw it on the internet, and being one of these people like I was just ragging on before, I was like, I can beat that. Doesn't sound that hard. Did some quick maths. How many reps? How much weight on the bar? And so I did it. I broke it. I set it at 70,000 kilos. I pushed it up by, it was 55. I pushed it up by, 15,000 kilos or whatever. Just think like squat rack. It started at 80 kilos, then went 70, then 60. Just sets of 10 with one rest for hours and hours and hours, just nonstop. And so to get the certificate on the spot, you have to pay a Guinness representative to fly out, pay their accommodation and everything, and they have to be there the whole time. Or what you can do is they'll give you a list of stuff that you have to do that ticks off the boxes in terms of them being able to verify it. So you have to film the whole thing, get a bunch of people to sign off on it. They have to be present. They have to show their qualifications, whatever. So for me, I had to have 2 qualified trainers of some sort, sit there, write it all down. I had to send the logbook. It all had to be recorded. So I did all that. And it's a 3 to 6 month verification process. And the time that it was being verified, it got broken again.
Oh,
So
lucky.
they sent me a letter, but I never got an official certificate, and I never got in the book.
Aw.
That's my story.
If you're listening, Guinness Books or whoever runs it, fucking send your boy a certificate.
No, the guy smoked it.
Oh,
So I went from 55,000 to 70,000 kilos. He did 1 million pounds. So he did like 450 something kilos.
wow.
Wait, is that the right math? Something like that.
50,000 kilos.
A lot of kilos.
Jeez. That's
In
insane.
24 hours.
Yeah. I only went for 8 hours.
Even though weakness isn't a word, he had zero weakness, that
Yeah.
guy.
Well, I had a lot because I'm 200% sure this is what started the downslide of my hips. The training was fucked. Like twice a week, I would just set a timer like 5 hours and just go and do sets of 10 for 5 hours. And like
5 hours.
you know the DOMs you get after a leg session, times that by 50, and that was my life because just by the time I was recovered, I'd do another session and then just keep going like that. So it'd be 4 or 5 days between sessions. And it was meant to be in December that I did the thing, and the venue that I was doing at was like, no, we don't want to do this. Sounds dumb. And they pulled the pin on me like a couple of weeks out. And so I had to extend it by 2 more months. So I kept training for like 2 more months like that. It was everything about it was just dumb.
Yeah, that's yuck.
That's insane.
That's my story.
Jeez, that's insane. Isaac Storr is, you're talking about running, James. He says, how did you incorporate weights when training for running?
Step 1, don't fall off the treadmill. Sorry, Isaac.
Didn't even fall. That's what's...
Just on that, Isaac fell off the treadmill here at the gym, busted his ankle real bad, and he kept training like a madman. So good on you, Isaac.
He did. He was coming in his moon boot.
Yeah, but how did I incorporate weights while running? I didn't. I stopped lifting altogether. I don't know if that's the answer you wanted to hear, but that's what I did. I stopped lifting altogether. I was just playing basketball. I was doing like 2. No, I guess you could call them weight sessions. I was doing 2 like circuit sessions with that one of my best friends ran, like her classes, kind of like a F45 type thing. I did 2 of those sessions a week, and yeah, I didn't run. I didn't lift weights while I was running.
It's super easy to do though. We've trained triathlon people and marathon runners here over the years. It's just about, it's similar to training or prescribing programming for any other sport. you just buffer either end of the spectrum, like buffer the lifting up and the running down if you're focusing on lifting, and the other direction if you're focusing on the running. So as you start to increase your running volume, you decrease your gym volume, and just make sure that the extra work that you're doing isn't interfering with your performance in the other endeavor.
Yeah, there's lots of, all the good runners, they all do something in the gym. They're always in the best shape as well. They're always the most resilient. They've all got a little bit of muscle mass to them. So yeah, you should definitely incorporate some strength training in your running program.
All right. More quick fire. Benny asks, ever thought of adding a recovery center inside of the Zeros and adding protein shakes to the fridge?
We used to have protein shakes, and I'll get some more. I've got a hookup where we can get some ready to go ones. Recovery center, absolutely yes. I've thought about doing that. The thing is just room.
Yeah.
You know, if I ever have space to do it, I'll do it. Yeah. Which Benny asked that?
Benny
That's Beanie Boy Lifts.
Oh,
Beanie
yeah.
Boy Lifts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Brutus Magnuson asks, when do we get to see Thomas playing the piano?
Never.
When we collab.
Yeah.
When we collab. Yes.
Loading. The collab's coming.
It is
Let's
happening.
go.
Meg Kimura asks, what are your hidden secret talents? Secret/hidden talents.
What are your hidden secrets? I'm not exposing myself like that.
Hidden secrets. Hidden secret/hidden talents. That's the question.
I'll go.
Yeah.
I'm a gun with a soccer ball.
Yes, you are.
Yeah,
I've seen you juggle.
Yeah, I can do 1,013 juggles with a soccer ball. I can do lots of tricks, and I can do 66 headers in a row. So just juggling with my head.
Dang.
When you say you can do, like, can we do that like right now?
100%. You've seen me with a soccer ball,
Yes, yes, I have.
There's a soccer ball
Yes, I have.
downstairs.
Yeah.
Don't
Yes.
bust an Achilles.
Wow.
Did you play as a kid?
Yeah. I was in the New Zealand Academy until I was like 13, and then all my mates, twisted my arm to go play footy with them.
Did you ever play against Parklands?
No.
Did you ever see a really fat kid in a red goalie jersey crying against the pole and letting people score goals?
No.
Okay. Well, so we didn't cross paths then as children.
That's okay. So yeah, I scored 10 that day. I don't know.
No, they pulled me out pretty quick on that day.
Gavin Gosing.
Wait, Bridget and me
I don't
you
have
haven't
any.
answered
Oh,
the
sorry.
question.
Yes,
I don't have any.
Bridget.
This is a weird one, but I'm actually a really good shot with a gun.
Oh.
Yeah, I've been to a shooting range and I was really good at it, like first go.
I'm all sudden. I've just shivers, just chills went through me right now.
Why am I shaking?
Yeah, I fired like 6 different weapons. I was really good at all of them.
Country girl.
Yeah.
Did you shoot in New Zealand?
Yeah.
So we went shooting for our school camp. Like they took us shooting Queen's Park school camp. A little bit hillbilly out that way. But always like because the pastor of the church that I went to growing up was the president of the local gun club. He's an American, so it makes sense. And he worked at Gun City in Christchurch. But always, anytime I went shooting, first time females were way better than anyone else.
Yeah?
Just I think it comes down to like steady hands,
Yeah.
a better focus. Yeah.
See, I watch too many rap movies. I'd be holding guns.
Sideways. What are you doing?
Not even looking down the side.
CJ, there's still 2 of us. Stop skipping.
I haven't moved on.
You keep looking at the phone like you're about to ask. What's your hidden talent?
CJ's got heaps. He just all of a sudden
like
fucking
what?
post an Instagram video going,
Yeah.
Playing
what?
drums.
Since when?
Yeah.
I bet he sings like an angel.
No,
Yeah.
no. But that being said, I have literally like seriously considered getting singing lessons.
CJ Sebastian.
Proper. Just because for so long I was always annoyed how I could play a lot of instruments and I love music so much, but I could never sing. And that's like the instrument you carry with you everywhere. And I realized, well, I learned how to play those instruments. Why don't I just learn to sing? So I might get singing lessons, but no, I don't have a voice of an angel yet. Maybe we'll see.
Thomas? CJ was going to the questions again, eh?
No, I'm just. No.
I'm happy for you to go to the questions.
Nah, go on, Thomas.
I don't know if I have any.
Well, everyone knows you play piano now.
Yeah.
You're good too.
Yeah,
You can
very well.
you can
Like
sing as well.
Classical. Yes, you can actually. Surely you sing on the collab.
Yeah.
We do.
When I first started working for Thomas, he used to teach me how to play the keyboard every Friday.
I'm just good at patterns. That's all I'm good at. Like, I'm good at seeing patterns. I'm really good at puzzles. To me, music's a pattern, lifting's a pattern. I'm just good at patterns.
Ooh.
I can see patterns.
Wow. That is, that's music theory.
I call it disability, but sure.
Gosh. Okay, Brutus Magnuson asks you, Thomas, what's your favorite Pokemon?
Pokemon Generation.
Are they? Oh, Pokemon Gen. Yes.
I'm old school. I'm 1-2.
1, 2.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
generations 1 and 2.
Okay.
There's some real gems in later generations, but I think as a whole, it's pretty hard to beat the original package. Even if you remove like feelings of nostalgia, it's pretty hard to beat.
Yeah.
We'll do another podcast on this.
Okay. We will.
An entire episode.
I'm real passionate about this next one. Brett Warland asks, Up in Smoke Tour, still Dre? Versus Up in Smoke Tour, forget about Dre, Eminem. Who
Still
wins?
Dre.
Still Dre?
Hands down.
Yeah, I agree.
Up and Smoke Tour. I still remember
That
the
is-
first time I watched the Up and Smoke Tour. That's how I learned how to do the Crip Walk.
Show us?
I'm guessing me and Bridget have nothing to say on that. I don't know what it is.
I know the songs, but I don't.
Up and Smoke Tour was a concert they did. When was it?
2001.
Was that when they had
You don't know anything about it.
Wow.
Knows the exact year it was.
closet hip hop superstar? Was that when they had the hologram of Tupac?
No,
Nah.
no. This is years and years ago. 2001.
Yeah.
Very long time ago. And it's pretty much the greatest collaboration. It was pretty much what was at the Super Bowl
Okay.
halftime show.
So it was
then,
like
in their
Dre,
prime.
Snoop, Eminem, 50
Yeah.
Cent.
I had it on
Exhibit.
video. I had it on VCR. Yeah, it was mad.
Sick.
That is still hands down, amazing. So, do you guys, now that you know what? No, don't.
Well, like, are we just picking a song?
Yeah. Still Dre, or
I can't remember how Still Dre goes. That's why I haven't given an answer, because I can only
you
think
can play it.
Representing from across the world still. Hitting the corners and the photo. Still.
I'd vote Still Dre.
Yeah, I'll just go with you guys.
No, you know these, Bridget. You
Yeah.
play them.
She's being humble or shy.
Come on, Bridget. Is it Still Dre?
Yeah, go Still Dre for
Yeah.
it.
I guess I just never understood Eminem's lyrics and
Yeah.
forgot about Dre. Like, I don't have any context as to why he's being so aggressive.
Yeah, I'm not an Eminem fan.
You're not?
Nah.
I like Eminem. I didn't like some of the full on psycho Eminem for the sake of it.
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of stuff.
Yes.
And saying I'm not an Eminem fan, I still know every Eminem song.
Yeah. I think he's just a free talent and really good lyricist. Matty Elliott says, you're a strong Pinoy. Is he talking to CJ or Henny? I think the people
For the
know.
listeners, Pinoy means Filipino. In Tagalog.
Yes. Yeah.
well, time will tell. Time will tell who he's talking to.
Time will tell. Let's end on this one. Jimmy Barnes, the great Barnesy. What's the coolest experience you've had in the gym? Oh, man.
It's a really hard one.
There's a few, and it's got nothing to do with me. I reckon the day you benched 140,
Yeah, that's helpful.
that was a good day. That was a good day.
Hey, appreciate that.
Eric's 300,
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
that was a great moment. Paris's record.
Yes.
I love.
that's
I'm
my
a sucker for
favourite.
deadlifts. I love. It's my favorite lift. So when I see,
I reckon we add some parameters here. I think in the gym doesn't include comps.
Yeah, okay.
Has to be in the gym.
all right, Henny's 140 then. Just that. Oh man, you guys go.
I got. This sounds really corny, but I've got so many cool experiences. All the relationships that I've built through this place. We're all such different people that come from different walks of life. Like, who would have fucking thought us four would be sitting down talking into mics? Do you know what I mean?
So true.
So, like, for me, I've got heaps of experices.
Such a nice way of being like, I wouldn't even look twice at you people on the streets.
My boys with no.
But yeah, sometimes when I'm hanging out with all you guys, or even at the comps, I just look around and go, fuck, we're all so different.
Yeah.
This is wild. That's my answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of overwhelmed with this. There's so many. Like, think of Henry's 140. You know, like the whole gym stopping and getting behind him and screaming, and him getting a PB, and it's so important. Like, I wish I could say that was a special occurrence, but it happens for us so often.
Yeah.
And like it would be unfair and untrue of me to point out one of them, because there's so many that come to mind that are standout, but there's also so many more of them that if I had a day to think about it, I could write a list that's longer than I can count. You know, so it's really hard to. I don't know. It's really hard to pick. So I'm going to cop out and say something similar to James, which is just like every day hanging out with the people here, hanging out with you guys. Moments that really stand out is like, you know, doing a barbecue and just looking at everyone sitting around and just chilling out and being like, seeing the community is what it is.
It's cool
I've
how
heard that.
it's cool how this sport unites
Yeah.
like people from all walks of life.
Yeah.
And we connect over this one thing. And yeah, it's awesome.
We connect over a barbell and circle metal.
Yeah. Arbitrary measure of resistance.
It's all right. We literally lift metal on metal for fun
Yeah.
Yeah.
and call it a sport.
Yeah. Yeah.
Athletes.
I would have never, honestly, would never thought I'd be,
I think that in any other scenario, imagine we're all cavemen. Oh, that rock looks really heavy. I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to put it back down. And you do it and everyone's like, whoa, now let's eat. That's what we do.
Yes, it is. Wait a very long time and we'll pick it up again.
I was just thinking, because like I train with like Ryan Anderson.
Yeah.
I know like he gets a million shout outs on this, but he's like a little bit older than me. He's got like mind your fucking business tattooed on the side of his head. Like we're two completely different people, but what brings us together is Zero and powerlifting.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I know I'm getting fucking a little bit sloppy.
Sappy.
Yeah, that's the one with this, but it's so true. Like I'm hanging out with people that I'd never fucking hang out with ever in my life, but we're brought together by, like what Thomas said, a barbell and some fucking circle pieces of metal.
What about you, Bridget Dog?
Are we still talking about the coolest moment in the gym?
Yeah.
Is that the question?
I just kind of flipped it and reversed it.
Yeah. I got nothing else to add. I agree with these guys. It's just, the community here, the camaraderie, seeing all the boys on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday night, like everyone doing their reels and having a laugh, and
everyone doing James's reel.
It's just the best.
Now you know why I leave at 5 on Tuesdays.
Thomas sees all the boys dancing. Let me get out of here.
I'm out.
Yeah. The dickheads have all showed up.
Oh no. Yeah. All right. That's us. Yeah. Thank you guys for listening. Give us 5 stars on Spotify, subscribe on YouTube, hit the bell so you know every time we upload a new video, and we will catch you guys next week. See ya.
Bye.
Peace.
Thank you so much for listening to the Zero podcast. If you want more information, head to our Instagram, Zero_weakness. Hit the link in the bio for all of our services and any information on upcoming workshops and events. Don't forget to leave us a 5-star review so we can have a broader reach and answer more people's questions. Thank you once more.